Vaguely, Galen was aware of smoke from a fire, and it seemed a fragrance more beautiful than anything he had ever inhaled. He came to a clearing with a cottage just a dozen yards from the tree's edge, large but rustic, with uneven logs visible even in the deep night. He could hear a rooster, half crowing irritably, a few chickens clucking, and stumbled through evidence of a much larger animal. What he didn't see was a car, or any lines suggesting a telephone. Galen swore. He knew some of the rural Scottish farmers saw no need for electricity, but he would have thought that, along the River Tweed, modern conveniences would be thicker in the ground. Through a rough cottage window he could see remnants of a fire glowing in the hearth. A pack of dogs suddenly began thunderous barking inside. Galen struggled onward, his energy fading fast, darkness threatening to overtake him. Just a few more steps. He could just manage 2 firm knocks on the door. Whoever was inside must know he was there. But he couldn't wait forever for an answer, so he fumbled the latch and lurched forward. He stepped into a low-ceiling entry, barely ducking in time to avoid smacking his poor head on the beam. He noticed a rustic bench and a number of sturdy walking sticks by the door. The room was dimly lit by a light flickering in from another room, but Galen's attention was arrested by the commanding presence of the farmer himself. This scarecrow of a man sent his head spinning again. He seemed old, but somehow vital, his long, ruddy white hair suited to his gray robe, tied at the waist. He was spry and at the ready, with a stout stick to strike Galen if necessary. The dog snarled, crouching as if to spring, but stayed behind the man. Galen instantly assumed a defensive stance, moving instinctively in spite of his pain. "Who the hell are you?" the old man said plainly, his voice strong and resonating. "See, you've hurt yourself. Afraid that's not very convenient." None of it made sense. From his stance, Galen felt the darkness circling, but managed to croak. "Gandalf. You're Gandalf." Then his legs failed again, and he started to fall. But the old man was quicker than that, catching Galen under his arms. He staggered slightly, but not from the teenager's weight. He felt a physical shock, an intense jolt that made him gasp. First things first, the old man quickly half-carried Galen into the adjoining room, the now silent dog slow at his heels, and laid him on a compact bed. Then he fetched a lantern and blankets. He cut off the boy's odd, blood-stained shirt and covered him with warm woolen blankets. His nose was obviously broken, and the dried blood had even seeped into his strange-looking trousers, but his pulse was strong. With rest, he'd be fine. With skill and economy, the old man administered a sleeping draught that Galen choked down without waking. Then the old man cleaned away the blood with a cloth that he rinsed in a stone bowl, and realigned the nose with a crunch, which again made Galen stir, but not wake. With his guest now safe and sound, he left the room. The old man was shaking. He looked down at his hands and willed them to be still. If nothing else, these long years had taught him patience. He seized the taper from his writing desk and moved to the far corner of the room. He threw aside a threadbare rug, revealing a trap door. The hinges creaked when he pulled, and the old man lifted his billowing robe so that he could safely navigate the spiral staircase. Each step left a footprint in the dust, and cobwebs grabbed at his hair. One dog cautiously followed him down, the other remained on guard in the room above.